What is up, guys? Today I'm with my W164 ML63 and I want to talk about that recall you guys probably heard about for the W164 MLs and GLs, as well as the W251 R-Class. So what this means is the W164 chassis cars, so the 2006, 2012 MLs and GLs, so any model, any trim you may have from 350 to 63, they all have a recall for the brake booster. So apparently the recall states that the brake booster may corrode, which is the brake booster over here. You may have some corrosion on the rubber pieces, which of course causes to malfunction, leads to malfunction rather, and you won't have assisted brakes, which could be an issue. Now, after speaking to lots of people, specifically AMG techs and Mercedes techs across the country, good friends of mine on Instagram, of course, they found this kind of strange because they haven't really seen W164s have brake booster issues at all. The 163, the previous one, was prone to it more, but not the 164. So of course, out of all this commotion about this recall, everyone's pretty confused about why the NHTSA made this a do not drive recall, making it pretty serious. But if I were you, I'd take a look at your own brake booster yourself. It is pretty easy to take a look at and just see if there's anything obvious. Now, my car is a California car, so it's very, very unlikely we're gonna have any corrosion here. And in fact, I've already checked and there's none. But if you do live in a rust-prone area, a place with lots of snow, lots of salt on the roads, the Rust Belt states, definitely worth taking a look at. So the brake boosters on these cars, the dark glass, the MLs and GLs, it's going to be on the driver's side, the left side of the car, towards the back. Now, I know on the R-Class, your engine bay is very cramped, instead of having it go up to here, your cowling's kind of over here even, so it's really hard to get to, so you might have to remove some covers. But on this ML63 over here, there's actually no covering for it. It's actually just right there. Now, it is a little bit hidden away as opposed to would be on a sedan or some other traditional form of car. But on the SUVs, it is kind of hidden there. You can see the 164 part number, and I'm sure it is exactly the same in the R-Class, which is why it's also having the recall. Quick little side note, while we have the part number visible, I just wanted to mention that Auto Evolution did claim that only 3 164 brake booster part numbers are affected, and the one I have here is actually not one of those 3 part numbers. So despite that, it's still on the list of affected vehicles by Mercedes-Benz on their website, which is attached to my VIN number. Yeah, pretty interesting side note, and something else to keep note of. The specific problem with the brake boosters apparently is where the rubber seal is over there. You can see the rubber edge that kind of surrounds the brake booster can cover up moisture, which then can cause corrosion. But of course on mine, there's really no corrosion there at all. I can see it push the rubber lip back and there's no corrosion whatsoever. So be sure to look at yours and take a little peek behind that rubber seal and check if there's any corrosion. And of course, guys, you shouldn't neglect this. Although it may seem minor, at least in my case, your car could be different. You could have a defective part, which is why this recall was put out in the first place. In which case, definitely make sure, no matter what your situation is, take your car to the dealership when the recall remedy becomes available. Contact your service advisor when the time comes. They're going to send you some stuff in the mail, of course. They'll send you a flyer with some information and whatnot. So be sure to follow up with that and don't ignore it. This does affect resale value, it affects insurance, it affects a ton of stuff. So definitely get it taken care of. It is kind of weird to have a recall for these cars, 10, 15 years after they came out. So definitely important to do that. With that being said, everyone stay safe on the roads out there and take a look at your brake boosters. But that's it for now. Peace out.